Morning. So we are continuing with Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, what we had done yesterday was the description of Sri Krishna entering the city of Dwarka. He's not yet entered, he's about to enter. Now, when you are coming near the city, how does the city look like? Even when you are landing from the plane, when you are seeing down like that from your window, you can see the entire city spread out in front of you, isn't it? Now, think like New York or Mumbai or one of those big cities in the world which has got water on one side, and on the other side is the entire city. Since Dwarka is very close to the sea, that is the reason why you will find on one side is the sea and on the other side is the entire city. And the entrance to the city is now from the land side, that is from the side of the land, there is an entrance. So today we are going to understand how this city is. So you have to visualize it and picturize it in your mind. So now we are going to start from verse 11 onwards. We are doing Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 1, chapter 11, verse 11. This chapter is called Shri Krishna's entrance into Dwarka. As Bhogavati, the capital of Nagaloka, is protected by the Nagas, and so was Dwarka protected by the descendants of Rishni, Bhoja, Madhu, Dashara, Araha, Kukura, Andhaka, etc., who were as strong as Lord Krishna. Now, when they are describing these people, these are the generals. Since the city is so huge, it is a metropolis. It is not a small city the way you may think of. A metropolis, there were many metropolises like this in the past. If you remember how this whole thing works, there was a city of Babylon, right, in Persia. Like that, there were various cities across the world. These cities were located on the river banks or at the entrance of, let us say, the land mass on one side and the sea on the other side. The reason being, even during those last 8,000, 10,000 years also, there was a lot of trade happening between various nations. All right. So India was known for its gold, diamonds, spices, and many other things. So India was a land of plenty. We had a lot of riches and everything was exported. Now these kind of things. We were the largest manufacturers of various, say, like diamonds and all that, and some kind of machinery. There were places in the world where weapons were sold. See, weapons were sold at different places. Food grains were sold at another place, and so on and so forth. And there was a lot of transaction happening there. The Middle East was known for its essences, dates, and those kind of things. Now, why was this region so predominant? The reason is because these places had developed sea routes. From here to Sri Lanka, which is the current Sri Lanka, from there across the oceans to Southeast Asia also there were sea routes. There is a mention of sea routes in all these regions. There was a route from here to Amman also. Some places in Africa also. Why Africa? Africa was a very, very prosperous nation. It was not Africa per se. The continent came in much later. But these were prosperous nations and they had everything to offer. As you have seen, the civilization of Egypt was along the river Nile. Similarly, there were other rivers like Euphrates and all. There were civilizations along these rivers because rivers were supplying a lot of water, which was meant for the purpose of farming and so on and so forth. And people staying near the river had access to water. Water is the most important commodity. We need water anywhere and everywhere. Dwarka also had water. So like that, there were various lands. Now when they are talking about Bhogavati, capital of Nagaloka, protected by the Nagas. Now this is in the region which is further south of India. This side is on the west of India. This region is on the south of India towards the east. Okay? The entire Nagaloka was over there. And they also had a capital city. And that was called Bhogavati. So there were trade routes drawn from here to Sri Lanka and on the other side. Like today's city of Vizag, Visakhapatnam, Kakinada, Puri and so on, right up to Bangladesh and our western region, eastern parts, which is Kolkata and all. Now Kolkata is a place where you could access it because of the rivers. The rivers were flowing into the oceans from there. So one is the Brahmaputra and the other is the Ganga. Ganga had so many tributaries simultaneously. In the similar manner, Brahmaputra, which was entering from China. So there was a lot of trade. Today also you will find that some very powerful rivers are there. And these help in trade. So internally within the entire precincts of Bharatvarsh, it was called Bharat at that time. Okay, India is a new name given just now. But Bharat, from this hand Bharata, he was a king in ancient times. All the rivers were meant not only for the purpose of drinking water, but also for trade. An entire Ganga basin, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, there were so many rivers. In the south there is Tamrapani also. I don't know how many of you know all these rivers. Narmada river is there in the center. There were various rivers. Civilizations like the Indus Valley civilization also took place during that time. You should know that Indus Valley civilization is currently, most of these places are in Pakistan and those part of the world. Some part is in India. It's a huge civilization. There were land trade routes. Trade routes from the land also. Now think about it. China had something which is called the Silk Route. You have heard of the Silk Route, isn't it? Now the Silk Route starts from north of China and it enters towards the south, comes at the top of India and it passes through the current Pakistan and all those, the Persian regions, and then onwards it goes up to Europe. So it's a very huge route. This was the land route that was developed. Everything for the purpose of, what was the purpose? The purpose was to do business, to do exports, to do imports, those kind of things. And there were caravans when they were passing through this place. Whereas in the sea, there were lots of boats. Fishing was also very, very important. As you will hear, fishing is a very important part of not only the Indian tradition, but in across the world. Fishing has been done since ancient times. When we are going to do an avatar which is called the Matsya avatar, you will understand that it was about fishing only. He brings one fish and puts it in one small place, and then the fish grows. So if you can understand, ancient people also used fishing. And there were various other things that were given here and there. So the Nagaloka was known for various things. They were known for different kinds of weapons, gold, jewelry, diamonds. Diamonds were found in the Nagaloka. Okay. The north of this land, Bharatvarsh, there was no such thing. There were other products. Remember, we are very close to the river which is called the Indus River in the north. The south is different, the north is different. So the Indus River had a flourishing civilization where grains and all were grown. So there was the entire India. The Bharatvarsh was divided like this. This country, Bharatvarsh, extended from bottom of China, which is called current Tibet. Tibet was a part of India, Afghanistan, part below Persia, that is Iraq and Iran, below Iraq and Iran, right down, entire thing was Bharatvarsh. It was ruled by different kings. Now Dwarka is on the west, okay, of India. This is a port city. So port city will have various entrances. Okay. Some entrances to the city will be from the sea. The seaside entrances are there, and on the land side also there will be entrances. Now current Dwarka is not the one we are talking about. Okay. This Dwarka was reclaimed from the sea and it went back into the sea. Alright. So what is today Dwarka and Bet Dwarka are not the original places. They are developed. Somebody has developed it. Some of the kings from that region have developed it. Okay. Now even the temple over there is a recent origin. It is not old. We are trying, in India is trying out a lot of these, in-depth surveys and this and that, and so many things are happening. The archaeological survey is doing all the mapping and so many things. But we have still not found a lot of stuff because we are still searching for it. So now, this civilization supposedly was anywhere between, more than 10,000 years ago. Why 10,000 years ago, you will ask me? Because we just have data from that side. Shri Ram's birth, if you recollect, supposedly somewhere around 7,000 BC, approximately. We don't know. I also don't know. There also there is a mention of Nagaloka. There also there is a mention of different cities from the northern side, from central India. And that is the reason why we know that these cities existed. But Dwarka didn't exist at that time. Remember that. Dwarka was a city claimed by the sea, and it was reclaimed, and then it was again claimed by the sea. So it went back again into the sea. This is the idea. So who were the people who were controlling the various gates? So there was a platoon. There is a big army, which definitely, because there were so many kingdoms. Do you remember in the yesterday we were discussing about so many kingdoms along the way. And people also come from the sea. And that is why protection of the city is very important. So like Bhogavati, the capital of Nagaloka, was protected by the Nagas. The Nagalok was protected by the Nagas. So was Dwarka protected by the descendants of Vrishni. Vrishnis are those people who are connected to Shri Krishna, the descendants of Vrishni. Yaduvanshis we call them. The Vanshaj is Yadus. So who are the people who were controlling the gates and various places? These were great warriors like Bhoja, Madhu, Dasara, Arha, Kukura, Andhaka, etc. They were very strong themselves. We'll do the next verse. The city of Dwarka was filled with opulences of the season, of all seasons. There were hermitages, orchards, flower gardens, parks, reservoirs of water, breeding lotus flowers all over. You will find that Dwarka was a very, very vast metropolis. And because it was vast metropolis, remember, Krishna's family was exceeding more than 1 million. His own family was so huge. Not just Krishna, all his relatives were there. Plus, there were people in the city. So, during that time, if you recollect, if the city was so huge, the population by itself was quite big. And if you remember, in the Mahabharata, just the foot soldiers were more than 4 million. Can you imagine 4 million foot soldiers? 4 million. What is 4 million? 40 lakh people are fighting a war. This is only on one side. On the other side, there is different. We are not even discussing that. So many horses, so many elephants, so many all these carriages. God knows how many of them were there. We have no clue. Though it is mentioned, but it is written like Ashkanis and this and that. We don't know what is that count also. Today when they say that the yugas are going to be 3 lakh and 42,000, we don't have that 3 lakh 42,000 just now. Because their way of looking at dates is different than our way of looking at dates. So it's all different. So don't bother so much. We just have to know how things were. So Dwarka Puri. Can you imagine what it is called? Dwarka Puri. Puri means city. Dwarka, the entrance. Dwar. Dwar is an entrance. The entrance to the land of plenty. What was the land of plenty? The land of plenty was having opulences of all the seasons. See, today when we need apples and all those, we are going abroad and buying them. Apples come in season, mangoes come in season, isn't it? Okay. And today most of it is genetically modified. So whatever that we are buying is genetically modified. But no, in ancient times, there were systems of preservation also. So the fruits, the flowers and everything would come from distant places also. The ships would take many days to come, and yet the preservation was done. Imagine, preservation was done even then. So that means in the city of Dwarka, just imagine there is a big stores like Walmarts and all that. Okay. And they have whatever you want over there available. That means fruits and vegetables and this and that, everything is available. Now again, there was a mention which I did. I said the potatoes and the onions never came. They were introduced to India after a long time because we were importing them. We never required it to be manufactured here. We were getting it from other countries. We were rich in diamonds and gold and all. See, for one diamond, how much of potatoes you can buy? I want you to think on those lines. See, if I have a big diamond like this, how many potatoes can you buy? So it's a big quantity. So don't bother so much. Because India was a rich country. Taj Mahal, even 16th century, okay, Taj Mahal was studied with, you see only the white monument, isn't it? When you go to Taj Mahal, you see only the white marble. Do you know it was not made of marble? It had a layer of diamonds and jewels on it. All those diamonds and jewels were removed by all these Britishers and everybody. They robbed the whole place and took it away. Can you imagine such a huge monument just fitted with diamonds all over the place? Where are those diamonds? Where British should be having those diamonds, they themselves are becoming a poor nation. See, they call us third world country, but they are becoming the fourth world or the fifth world country now. Look at the condition. They don't even have anything today. But these are the people who looted us, left, right and center. And they never asked, can I take this? They used the same laborers from India, chipped off everything and took it away from their ships. But during the time of Krishna, the city was very opulent. There were hermitages. What is the meaning of the word hermitage? Hermitage in ancient times was gurukuls, schools. We had a school system. The hermitage is a person would take training in a hermitage anywhere between 12 to 16 years. Today when you send your children to school, how many years does it take? 10 to 12 years in a school, isn't it? Then you go to the higher school and then college and all that. Total 16, 17 years you are sending your child to school. Isn't it true? So first the schooling is there, then the college, higher education and all is there. So even in the ancient times, the hermitage, the moment you say hermitage, it immediately says, oh, religious. Sorry. It is not religious. It is schooling. It is all about teaching. The masters were there. And you may think there was only one teacher. No. Don't be under this mistaken impression at all. There were not one teachers. The gurus were themselves transforming some of these older students into teachers themselves. They had to become an apprentice first. And the apprentice will then become a main teacher. I hope you get the point. This was a system followed. Again you will say, where is it written? People think that they cannot see these things. Well, it is written. There's a beautiful story where Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad, I hope you know Prahlad. Prahlad is a small child. He is sent to a school to learn. How many of you know the name of the person whom he learnt under? Does anybody know? No, you can write it, no problem. Yeah, Shukracharya, the master of all the demons. Shukracharya was unconquerable, cannot be conquered. It was a trick played by all these devas, that is why they were able to capture him. But you think he is going to be captured? Boss, Shukracharya is the greatest. Okay, though he is a master of all the demons, he is a teacher, he is a guru. Shukracharya could not be defeated. His negotiation skills were beyond imagination. I don't know how many of you know how he negotiated. The negotiations done by him were unimaginable. He was the one who went and got the demons, what is called as the Sanjivani mantra. A Sanjivani mantra keeps the demons alive. Even after they are dead, they will say the Sanjivani mantra, the demon will be alive again. You know who the demons are? No, you don't know the demons. The demons are your anger, your greed, your lust. All these are there. These are called demons. I want you to think. A lusty person. A person who is 20-year-old. He is a very lusty person. He wants to get married. He wants to settle down. He wants to have babies. Everything in this world he wants. Got it? But then, by the time he comes 35, 40, when already wife is, say, for 10 years he might be married, has children, his libido goes down, puss, like that. You understand? Libido, I don't want to extrapolate on that. His libido goes down, he becomes a completely demotivated person, and you may think, okay, now his demon is dead. Sorry, boss. The demon is very much alive. One Sanjivani mantra, whoosh, one Mohini coming in his life, Sanjivani mantra comes back again. A 40-year-old will go around with a 16-year-old girl. You think that doesn't happen? And then again something happens. He is not able to manage because these 16, 18, 20-year-old girls, they have a lot of demands and requirements. These old fellows, they can't match. So they want to do a lot of other things. Okay? You know the reason why we have so many drugs in the marketplace today. Aphrodisiacs, we call them. Aphrodisiac. Onion is an aphrodisiac. Lasoon is an aphrodisiac. Lasoon, garlic. So these people will have garlic juice, garlic this, onion this and that, and so many, Viagra's of this world. Why are they there? That 60-year-old also is interested in lusting. That fellow 80-year-old actor was sitting with his baby. Did you see that? 2 days ago there was a picture. An 80-year-old actor is sitting with his baby. How many children? How many wives? 80-year-old getting, imagine, the fellow is half dead and he is getting married now. I don't understand what he's doing. Yeah, his libido is alive. So now do you understand? Shukracharya could make this thing back alive. So the demonic propensities can be kept alive. So now coming back to our story. Now Shukracharya's main disciples were his own 2 sons. Now when you say sons, doesn't mean son, okay? The Guru normally has Guru Putra and Guru Putris. The Guru Putras, they would be teaching a lot of things to children. So those who enter the school, he would be having these senior teachers, senior students of his also. They are teachers. Tomorrow when we do children's, class, mythistical class, I am not going to be around to teach. Somebody has to take charge. Somebody has to give charge to others also. And they will also have to teach, isn't it? They will become senior teachers. Suppose you have to teach them computers, children. Now you have to teach them chat GPT, all these things. You need somebody who is already into it, no? I am not going to be the expert, somebody will be the expert, so that person. So Gurukuls had a lot of teachers. Please remember this, okay? I am going slow with this, but you have to understand this. I have got another 5 more minutes to go. So the place was filled with all hermitages. Now you got hermitages clear? I don't have to tell you. Flower gardens. In South India, I don't even get flowers. This is a place I am supposed to have all these mallige and pallige and all these flowers. Where you go to the market also, it's not available. No smell also. And if you ask them, they will give me China flowers. What is China flowers? Stupid thing. But that was a time they would make these flowers available. Not only flowers. You have marga and all those other aromatic plants also. You know or you don't know? There are aromatic leaves. Okay? You have seen there is a red color flower which is there, I think most of the places. Okay? It looks like a jhadu. Jhadu like a broom thing. Okay? Yeah, it is in the entrance over here. You take one tiny leaf from it. Take it, crush it and smell it. Wow, it has got the most amazing smell. These are called aromatic plants. How many aromatic plants you have? Thousands of aromatic plants. India is known for export. Even during that time also they were exporting. Now also they are exporting only. We are the largest manufacturer of these chameli, champa, this one, that one, all those things, okay? All the oils that they make. Yeah. France and all these European companies, all these, manufacturers of nice things, they are taking from us. Okay. So, flower gardens, parks and reservoirs. There were a lot of parks, there were reservoirs also. Reservoirs means what? Where drinking water is kept. You think there were no tanks? Today you need water, you have to store water somewhere, no? It doesn't rain throughout the year. So storing water is important. So storage of water is there. So all these were there. The city gateways, the household doors and festooned arches along the roads were all nicely decorated with festive signs like plantain trees and mango leaves. All to welcome the Lord. Flags, garlands and painted signs and slogans all combined to shade the sunshine. When I look at this, I will say that whatever that has happened in that Prayagraj is less, isn't it? Now listen to these words and you will say Prayagraj mein nothing is there. This is too much. You see, the whole place was having plantain trees. You know, plantain trees, they have to be destroyed after they give the plantains. You know, plantains means banana. Banana, you know, like that, banana. So it's like a banana. When after bananas come, then you have to cut them and the tree has to be chopped from below. And sometimes they will take the tree along with flower also, as well as all that black color thing, what they call it, I don't know. Right? So all that thing is hanging over there. So they will have the two poles on two sides and they will tie the bananas on both the sides. Then you may think, oh, banana was there in India. Of course banana was there in India. 10,000 years ago, 7,000 years ago, banana was there. Now you will say, mango? Hello? Mango leaves are there? Of course mangoes were there that time also. You think mangoes are from Africa? Mangoes are original fruit from India. We were known for export of mango. So we had mango decorated with what? Now you will say, oh, you are buying paints from Europe. Sorry, we had enough paint over here. Someday I will give you a story how paint industry came into the picture. How dyeing happens. See, all these people don't have any idea. We think that, oh, we buy Nike, we buy this t-shirt from Adidas, we buy from H&M, we buy from Zara. Boss, the Zara, Para and all these things, all these clothes manufactured here only. We can make everything from ancient times till today. All manufacturing was done. Silk, India was known for its own silk. You people want to buy Chinese silk. Silk was made in India only. What was Krishna wearing? What was Krishna wearing? Silk color dhoti. And when this Krishna wears silk color dhoti, the dhoti falls off. So think about it. I have to put one belt over there. Yesterday also I made the stupid joke. But think like that. Silk was very close to India. And woven with what? Gold thread. Silver thread. My God. You really have no idea what rich nation we were in. So someday I will tell you. So, everywhere there were flags. Painted signs. Slogans. You see, describing Dwarka is not so easy. So what I will do is I will stop here because I have a shortage over there. And tomorrow I will explain to you Dwarka in detail. I don't mind going for 1 hour also. Because you should know how Dwarka was. Because you don't have any idea. You think we are some poor bhikari country taking one begging bowl and going, IMF paisa dena, World Bank paisa dena. No. We gave them money. Okay. So we will stop over here just now. Okay. Bye.
Recording stopped.